Well, good morning. We're on the road again, heading to ride with the Rmax, but this is a special event today. We are getting together.
10 left onto State Road 3003.
Anyway, we are getting together with some Yamaha service guys and some Yamaha engineers. They're having a little Rmax customer feedback ride. So we're getting together with some other Rmax 1000 owners, get to ride around with some Yamaha employees. That's the word I was looking for. Yamaha employees. Just give our feedback, what we like, what we don't like. Just gonna spend a day at Rock Run, just pretty much ripping in Rmaxes. Should be a fun time. I should have brought Mighty Mouse to tow the ones that break down back, right? And it's all running. You always gotta have a Honda there to tow back the breakdowns.
Yeah, we didn't bring the Honda Pilot either, so I don't have that to tow anything.
I think Yamaha is just as good dependability as Honda's. We'll be good. Alright, so we just spent probably a good half hour, 40 minutes talking to the Yamaha guy, telling him our likes, dislikes, rating things on a scale of 1 to 5 and 1 to 10.
I'll try and be over there at 10:30 with
So are we going to the glove box is a little smaller, the center console is a little bit smaller.
Alright,
Thanks a lot, guys. A little more room. Yeah. It always seems like other machines do have hospitals.
if you could do a pre-planned ride like that.
And now we just pretty much have some free time to ride here. We got to meet back with them about 11:30 to actually ride with the Yamaha guys, take them on about an hour-long ride. But other than that, we can just rip around here and do stuff like this. Make my wife squeal.
That made you scared too, didn't it?
No, I don't get scared. Well, let's go down.
Beautiful day today.
Hey, somebody stuck some rocks.
Yeah. Whoa, cloud of dust.
A little bit.
Yeah, you
That's not as good as it used to be.
yeah, you made it though. Now I got the grit in my teeth from the dust. Oh.
Yeah, it used to be a lot better angle there for jump, but I ain't catching much air anymore.
You got off the ground a bit. It seemed like it landed pretty soft.
Yeah, I got it cranked up, so it wasn't too bad.
No thuds. There you got a wheelie.
What's that?
You got up on 2 wheels on that one.
I didn't hit it as hard that time. I'm done, you can get in.
Are you done doing this?
I'm
Am I
done.
safe to get in with
You're
you?
safe. You're safe to get in.
Are you sure?
No, but go ahead. Get in. it was our time to meet up with the Yamaha testers. They pretty much told us to just ignore them for the most part. Drive like you normally drive, because that's what they wanted to observe. Is different riders, different kind of riding styles, and how they drove the Rmax. So that's what we did. You guys know me, I'm not a super aggressive driver, but I like to get a little aggressive every once in a while. So the first thing I did was took them right to the big hill climbs at Rock Run and had them follow me. Of course, once we were done playing on the hill climbs, we did a little more spirited, normal trail driving at a little faster pace. And as you guys know, if you've been with me for a while and have watched my ride videos in the past, what I most love to do is the slower, technical, rocky stuff. Now, there's nothing that extreme here at Rock Run, but we did hit their Boulder Garden section, which is probably the gnarliest amount of rocky trail we can hit there. So all in all, we pretty much hit all the major areas of riding that I tend to do, and hopefully it gave Yamaha a good idea of what at least I use my Rmax for. How Yamaha did this as more of a one-on-one instead of just a big giant group ride, because when you're in a big group ride, you don't always necessarily ride how you usually ride depending on how everyone else is riding. So by splitting the times up and doing these more personal one-on-one rides, that gives Yamaha a much broader view of everyone's different riding style, and I think that's a very, very smart thing for them to do. I mean, sure, it would have been fun to get into a large group of Rmax owners and hit the trails, but this way Yamaha can see more specifically how each and every person drives and uses their Rmax, and I think that's a very clever thing for them to do, and I think it gives them a better idea of how they can improve their machines in the future, as well as help them see maybe a market for a new machine they have yet to think of that might sell well depending on how people ride. Say for instance a 50-inch 850 powered two-seater would be awesome, Yamaha, or even a 850 or 1000 powered Yamaha Grizzly. the ride with the Yamaha testers for about an hour. It wasn't a long period of time. Would have been nice to have ridden more, but they had to leave to go to another event the following day, so they couldn't spend all day here. But all in all, it was a very, very nice experience, and it's awesome to see Yamaha out there and getting together to ride with actual owners. I mean, there's no better feedback than from the ones that own these machines and use them on a daily basis, and are racking up hundreds and hundreds and thousands of miles. Once we were done with our ride, then it was just back to me and my wife just cruising around for the remainder of the day.
To be on the safe side, but they're actually probably like 66 inches wide.
Yeah.
But they don't want people banging into their bridges.
I think that's what it is.
So if you're a good driver,
like more,
you could have another inch on your machine. You could have still made it through without touching.
Perfect. See, I thought so because Tom, when he was here, he had the Pioneer 1000 heat fit, and he was wider than stock.
Yeah.
So those are 64 inches, and he had them aftermarket rims, which was a little wider. So.
Yeah, he made it. He made it. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Well, that was interesting. If you were going to have your own rating system for trails on, you know, they have the green, blue, black. I don't know if there's other ratings than that.
It all depends on the park. Standard is green, blue, and black. And then some, like Hatfield McCoy will have their red or the red and black that are the
Yes, this is easy.
Well, see, everything that falls under what would be green, blue, and black is the easy.
Okay.
And then everything beyond that's certain death.
Okay.
There have been very few places I've rode that have black trails. I would call them hard.
Can you name a place that did?
I will say Mines and Meadows, their black trails were hard, and that's not because of the difficulty of the trail, that's because of the massive amount of ruts that was in there. Even their green trails, you couldn't hardly get through because of the ruts were so bad.
So it's lack of maintenance on that.
Now, Hatfield McCoy, Mighty Mouse was down, so we did go on a couple black trails. And those were difficult for Mighty Mouse. Because at the time I was still on the small tires. I didn't have a lot of ground clearance. The black trails we had trouble with and got stuck on is because I got high centered. Had I had bigger tires like I have one now, it would have been a cakewalk.
So, in the future, you plan on taking Mighty Mouse back?
Yeah, I would take Mighty Mouse back to Mines and Meadows. I don't know if it's still all rutted up. Let's go the Stony way. We're going to Stony Outerloo. Skip plate. Come on, skip plate.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to go down into low.
Crawl mode.
I've been in crawl mode. Rock Run is awful rocky, hence the name. And it actually works best for this Rmax to pretty much be in crawl mode all the time. So you're not constantly going vroom, vroom, vroom. That D mode switch makes it, yeah, the X4 was nimble. But like stuff like this, like look at the rocks we're heading to now. We've been over this in the X4 and it did okay, but I crashed and smacked bottom a lot. But this D mode switch is going to make it, I have a feeling, so much easier to just, look at that. It didn't even, it was like that wasn't even there. Same with these guys. Crawl mode low. 4-wheel drive. This thing's amazing.
You know what I have to say about this? It's just beefy.
It's just beefy. Now, I do miss the nimbleness of the X4. It was narrower and more fun to whip around on these winding trails, but with that, it didn't feel nowhere near as stable. This does oversteer a little bit. I think it's just because of its size. Not oversteer, understeer. I'm sorry, I had it backward.
Backward?
It tends to understeer and push through the corners a little bit. But it does feel more stable. It's just not quite as nimble. You have to look a little farther ahead with this when you're ripping down these windy trails. I am talking.
You said
Forget the scenery.
You said look farther, so I was looking farther. Okay, come on.
It's not actually. And playing your turns a little sooner, because you got to start turning sooner, and keep in mind you are wider. So.
But you can still fit on the bridges.
But I still fit on the bridge. So, yeah. This is a far superior machine. I won't say far superior. It is a superior machine than the 850.
Yeah, and but it has to do with engine size.
This took everything that people wanted more of with the 850 and gave it to us, basically. Yeah. 850 is still a good machine and be perfect for a lot of people. Would I still be happy with the 850? Absolutely. But I'm happier with this.
So there are degrees of happiness.
There are degrees of happiness.
And this makes you happier.
This makes me happier.
How does that translate into life?
I don't know. Buy the biggest and the baddest and you'll be happier evermore.
There is a point though where it becomes a tipping point.
Yeah. With what I had done to the X4.
You had those performance sheaves in it.
Yeah, and had to, which no one ever saw a video because I got rid of it before I got to do a video. But I had the DynoJet Power Commander tune, which woke it up a little bit. Which I can use that and just buy the license and get the tune for this, which I will be doing in the future. Get a little more power, and that, along with like an exhaust tip and that air injection delete, will actually quiet this down quite a bit.
Now, will Alana be allowed to drive it when it has the the performance tune?
We still have the turtle mode.
Oh yeah.
Enough talking jabbery.
Let's drive. You don't find many Amish people driving side by side.
Not usually. Or the Amish always driving side by side. They're just all 1 or 2 horsepower.
That's right. That's
We got
right.
108 ponies in this puppy.
That's very true, because they're always sitting side by
The
side.
Amish were the pioneers in side by side. They knew what was in before it was in. We are just putting around. My wife thinks I'm a clown.
I refuse to take you into town.
And that makes me frown.
Do you have any shots on one right now?
Yeah, they're on full stop. Do you remember the first time we had the X4 here? How many times we bottomed that thing out? It was a lot. I have footage of all the bangs and crashes. This thing has not bottomed out on a rock once.
Well, it has Fox shocks and not some.
But it comes stock with 29-inch tires, not little baby
Oh,
25.
the X4 tires that came with were a joke.
I put a good many miles on them though.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't blow one
Never had
out.
a flat tire.
Yeah, never.
There was a couple good gouges in them.
You had to keep keep an eye on one of them because it would go soft really fast.
Yeah, it would tend to lose air, so I had a slow leak somewhere apparently. Okay, we're
You're on, that other wheel's off the ground.
Yeah, that's all point. Yeah, that's good.
Do you want your head under the one wheel?
Angles here. Back it off nice and easy.
I'll lay down and you can.
Underbelly shot.
Yeah. Although my helmet would probably get stuck.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone's fine in my pocket.
Oh, you think, huh?
I think.
So, are we climbing that next?
We'll wait till the warranty.
Warranty? Why would that matter?
I could not think of anything else to say right at that moment.
Oh,
so.
you just don't want to.
Well, I don't think we would make it. And don't make waves. Don't make waves.
Is it okay to splash?
Splash is okay as long as you don't make waves.
I keep thinking about one of those first videos that you did where somebody left a comment that said, "What'd you use to film a potato?"
Yeah.
I think in the comment, "Who did you have film for you? A potato?"
It's Mrs. Oh, sorry. It's Potato Head. No Mr. or Mrs. anymore.
That's right.
Can't have that. Nope, nope. Potato Head. So it was an absolute wonderful day of riding, not only with the Yamaha testers, but just getting to spend a day with my wife and ride as well. Let me tell you, with having 3 kids, me working on videos, editing videos, working a full-time job, the time my wife and I get to spend alone together is very, very limited. So it was nice just to get away and ride with her. Again, kudos to Yamaha for holding events like this with their machines to get out and ride with actual owners, to get real-world opinions on what they are making. I think that's incredible, and that shows a very, very, very open mind to improvements in the future, getting that feedback from the owners that know not only the great things about a machine, but also the problems and the downfalls of the machine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you for your support, whether it's just simply from watching and liking, subscribing to my channel, buying my merchandise from my Teespring store, buying from my Amazon Marketplace store as well. I have parts and accessories that I use on my machines that I get on Amazon, and they're listed for you to buy, and every time you buy from there, it gives me a little bit of a kickback from that to help support the channel. And of course, to all my Patreon supporters out there, thank you very much for your monthly patronage. Again, thanks for watching everyone, and until next time, keep on riding.